Welcome back to another video. In this video we are going to address, well, one of the most hated parts of the build and what people consider the unfinished part of the builds. There's actually two of them, one being the window frames. That was going to be in the next video. In this video we're actually going to work on these corners, which a lot of people said why we didn't finish. And a lot of people considered painting being the last job and said why we didn't do the corners. A lot of you did understand us and did hear us since we said it so many times, and we felt pretty offended since a lot of people didn't see the vision that we had, even though we said it 4 or 5 times, something like that, on the previous videos over and over, saying we're gonna cover this, we're gonna cover this, don't worry, we're not gonna plaster it. So in this video we actually are gonna cover it. We had the option of making it ourselves. We have made this for something else, but we wanted to go with something like this, of course not as big. We were thinking to do that. It kind of looks like a beam, but we felt like it was too bulky, especially for that side there, considering it's very close to the window. So we went and got these wooden strips. Our store had many different options in many different sizes. We could even go bigger than that, and all kinds of designs. And we went with this one since we really liked it. It's very smooth, very soft, and we went with the more expensive. They had the sticked ones, which is like sticked pieces together, kind of glued on leftovers. Didn't look that nice. It still was wood, but it was all like with sticking marks. We went with the one solid piece of wood. This is going to be a bit more nicer once it's stained dark, same as the sills. So all of it's kind of add up to this like really white on wood, and it's going to look really fantastic, I think. Much better than just plain white corners. It is a cheap option just to plaster the corners, paint it and say it's done, it's nice. Same with the corners, same with all these windows. But we wanted not to look so cheap and so boring, since the house is old and it does need a character. It is expensive to do this kind of wood on 100 square meter house on really big build. So in a new build it doesn't make sense to go with this unless you really want to spend the money on it and you prefer the look. Of course, it's not something everyone prefers, but we prefer it. We feel like the wood adds a lot of character to the windows and to the room overall. It's not gonna look so basic, so boring. But yeah, let's get started. Let's go cut these. Enough talking, and let's finally fix up these corners. And we're also gonna do the door surrounding in this video as well. We have to go something a bit unique here as well, since we have to cover this up and go bitty over it. That we're gonna make ourselves. The store had options for that, but mostly in white, kind of like, you know, like white moldings. And we wanted to go with raw wood here as well, so we're probably gonna make that ourselves. So let's get started. I love this like recess. So as you can see, we are done with the corners. We didn't attach the rest of them. We attached these two, which were in wood screws, but the other ones go in the wall with brick screws. So those ones we're not going to attach, since those you can't really do that many times. And we are going to stain them separately. We're not going to try to do them here in the wall, of course. But as you can see, it covers up that corner perfectly on both sides, on actually all sides. And it looks really good. I love it. I definitely think it's going to look much better darker. But for now, even that wood color, it looks pretty good. And before we get on with staining these corner ones, let's build the door frame so we can just stain it all in one go and then attach it once it's all dry. So let's get started, figure this one out, because this one it needs to be some sort of vision just so it looks nice.
We have an idea.
Something.
I have an idea. I don't know if we're gonna be able. I mean, we'll be able to do it, but.
I think we'll achieve something.
Yeah, something nice. So here we have our example. This is not what it's gonna be, but we wanted to try out to see if it fits. So the idea was to have like a flash piece here, not a live edge. We just have that as an example, and then go the other live edge like this, and have it kind of like that. But the problem, if you can already see, is that the door doesn't open further than that, and that is not good. So we have decided to not put that wood. We could cut it, slice it in half, but that's quite a lot of effort to go all around. So the easiest way, and might also look nice, is to put a piece of plywood. We have white plywood, and then attach the live edge all around, top and around. And I think that's also gonna look pretty good. So let's now go cut up the plywood pieces that we need, get them in, attach them, and then see what live edge we're gonna use, because we of course wanna go one piece, we don't wanna be touching it. And we might want a bit of a different one, because it's a bit more smoother, because on top you cannot really see it. So yeah, that's kind of the plan. Change of plans, because yeah, well, that's stupid. If the door doesn't open here, it would be fine, no problem, but where the hinge is and the door opens, it does not fit. So let's go and get the plywood. really cool.
So we have finished making them. It did take quite a while. I think in total maybe like 2 hours just to get this done. So, but it does look pretty unique and pretty nice. I think especially if we paint this ones here, because they are not kind of matching the white. Plus we're gonna paint over the screws. We're not gonna fill the screws with, like, we could use kind of like a wood filler, or in theory the same thing, the plastering. But I think it's gonna be fine if we just go over and paint it, because we could always remove it. Because when you want to change the door, it's kind of easy because the metals are right behind there for changing the door. So we're gonna keep it simple for windows. That's from outside we can change the windows, but the door is all from the inside. So we're gonna leave that like it is. And also this one's the screws we are gonna leave visible. I don't want to go with wood filler and close them, because then in the future we can't physically remove them that easily. It's a really big mess.
And they don't look bad, honestly speaking, and they don't bother at all.
And since I doweled them in, kind of made like a bit of a deeper piece, then it looks really nice as well. They're not squeezing the wood like crazy like when you do it with pressure. I didn't need to squeeze them on so hard. I think it came out pretty good, and it hides all the imperfection of the wood. So let's now remove them all and lay them out on a paper and stain them, and then we're gonna put them on when they're dry.
Looks so perfect together with the windowsills. Well, that's a look.
Yeah, looks good. So now you can see exactly what the vision was for the corners and surrounding of the door. It looks absolutely gorgeous. I think the white against this darker brown wood looks a lot better than us just taping the corners and mudding them and making them all just white and boring. Imagine if it was white here, white all around, and all the windows white. It would just be a white blob, I think, the whole room, and only difference would be the floor and the ceiling, which most houses also would be white, the ceiling, and only thing that you have is the floor. Even the windowsills in most houses are white. So I feel like this plain monochrome is not something we go for much, so we like to have especially wood accents. And with all these accents we are gonna add, it's not gonna feel like a new build, it's gonna feel more a bit of an old feeling to it, kind of like a farmhouse should. It's really skinny wood, but it's just enough there to cover up the things that we don't want to see, and also adding some character going along the walls. I feel like definitely separates the white from the wood. Like it creates kind of like a separation of contrast. I don't know. I can't explain it, but it looks better. But now you can actually see the vision that I have and the things that just take time. We do work every day and try to get these videos out. It is our living, it's how we make money. So it is something that we need to work on every day, and we cannot just slow down for a week and take our time and think, because then we were broke and we pretty much can't afford to live anymore. That is the pressure that we're under all the time. But we are trying our best to be fast and high quality, which is really hard because those two things usually don't go together, fast and high quality. But we're trying our best, and I feel like we're achieving something, and it looks pretty good. But that's pretty much it for this video. Hope you enjoyed, and we're gonna see you in the next one whenever we tackle on the windows, which are gonna finalize the room finally.
Yeah. So now you can understand what will happen there. Next up.